In this video, we're going to show you how to perform secondary analysis of sequence data, including genome assembly, variant calling, and lineage assignment using DNAstack's Workbench. First, what is Workbench? Workbench is a software product created by DNAstack for bioinformatics workflow execution. Workbench is able to run workflows reproducibly and at scale on major cloud computing platforms as well as on-prem. Let's get started. Step 1. Obtaining a workflow. Workbench can run arbitrary computational pipelines defined in the Workflow Description Language, or WDL format. DNAstack has authored pipelines for processing Illumina, Oxford Nanopore, and PacBio sequencing data, and published them as open source for the community to use on DocStore. Let's head there now. Click the Organizations tab, and then search for DNAstack. Click the DNAstack card. Here, we have published workflows for processing data from major sequencing platforms. In this example, we're going to process some PacBio data. Click on the COSA pipeline, which stands for Coronavirus Sequencing Analysis. This pipeline was developed by PacBio and wrapped in the WDL format by DNAstack. Go to the Files tab and click on the Download button. Congratulations! You now have a recipe for processing PacBio data. Step 2. Setting up Workbench. Workbench is a command line interface for running and monitoring bioinformatics workflows. To download the CLI, visit docs.viral.ai. Workbench delegates jobs to implementations of Workflow Execution Service, also known as WES, a standard interface for running workflows developed by the Global Alliance for Genomics and Health. To configure a WES instance for Workbench to delegate to, use the CLI config command. Great! Now any workflows you submit through Workbench will be delegated to this service. Step 3. Running the workflow. To run a workflow, we'll use the WES runs execute command. Our WES needs a few things here: an attachment containing the WDL workflow to run, a relative URL to the workflow, and a JSON file containing the inputs to the workflow. In this example, we're going to run the COSA pipeline on PacBio Hi-Fi sequencing samples. Awesome! We've queued up a run for execution and got back its ID. We can use Workbench to monitor our jobs. To do so, type WES run get and the ID of our run. Or use the status argument to quickly check whether our analysis is still running. It'll need some time to complete, so let's check back in a little while. Great! Our analysis has now finished successfully and we're ready to inspect the outputs. We can see the lineage assignment as well as the location of a number of files in Google Cloud Storage. Let's take a quick look at the variant calls in the VCF file. Congratulations! You've now learned how to do bioinformatics processing on viral genomics data using Workbench. You can use this approach to run best practices or custom pipelines reproducibly and at scale. Visit us at dnastack.com for more information on how to use Workbench. If you need help getting started with processing your data, contact us at info@dnastack.com.